Good morning. It's 9 a.m. Friday, December 13, 2024. Welcome to the Good News live at 9 on Facebook and available later on our YouTube channel. Please comment in the chat so we know you're with us. This is a presentation of the Allen Park Presbyterian Church. Good morning, everyone. I'm Suzan Maxey. I'm an elder at Allen Park Pres, and I'm freezing. Brr! My co-host, who looks nice and warm with her oceanside view, is Kerri Van. And among other things, she's the moderator of the Deacons. She's a certified social media expert. So she's getting all that stuff out there on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. I don't understand. Because she's the communications manager at our church, too. Good morning, Kerri. Burr.
Good morning, Sue, and good morning to everyone who's watching. And my background is an illusion. I am also freezing, and wish I would have put socks on this morning, but that's for another. So, how are all of you on this frigid Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
Yes.
I heard some of the schools actually closed because of the cold.
They are closed?
Had a couple of notifications. I know a friend of Deanna's, her school's closed. It's like, wow.
Wow. See, it's weird when your kids don't go to school anymore. That's like such a huge part of your life. When it's cold out, you're like,
you don't get up in the middle of the night and try to watch the news as if their school's closed. And you have to watch, you have to go through all of it. Now you just go online and, pick out the school. But back in the day, you had to wait for all of them. Wayne County, it was like, and even if you missed it, you had to wait through the whole thing again.
Oh my gosh,
remember those?
Yeah, I do remember those. It was terrible. And I worked and had to figure out like what we were gonna do. And it's like, please, just show me the school district. Yeah, that was the old days. The old days. Good morning to everyone who's watching. All right, so we have a guest today, so let's get through a couple announcements. The big one is Christmas is coming really soon.
In case you didn't know.
Yes, in case you haven't been feeling the pressure or the joy, it is coming quicker and quicker and quicker. We have our giving tree with the board games and the gift cards and the mittens and everything else. If you still have gifts to give, please bring them to church on Sunday, because starting on Monday, there is a big process of putting together those 60 bags. So bring everything with you on Sunday, but the mitten tree goes through the end of the year. We take mittens to local schools, women's shelters, ChristNet, and more. And Nancy Atkinson said we have not gotten as many mittens as we normally do, especially children's ones. So if you see good deals after Christmas, it's not too late. Not too late at all. And poinsettias, the poinsettia dedication book. We need to put that together early next week. So if you could take a moment, just go on our website. It's an easy form to fill out. And let's get those in. There's no cost to do that. And if anyone does donate, it helps our flower fund. All right, Sue?
Yep, absolutely.
We have some late breaking announcement to make. It's going to be told right here, right now. We have a new... can we play some kind of bells or something? You have your handbells with you? We have a new remembrance tree called the Tree of Love. It's going to be up in the chancel. I don't know the location yet, but it'll be somewhere in the chancel where you can see it. It's a smaller artificial tree. And there will be ornaments in the narthex. So if you go in, you can pick up there's a heart and a tree and something else. If you're missing someone this Christmas, someone's away at college, someone isn't with us any longer, someone can't come home for Christmas, and you're feeling kind of sad about that, write their name on the back, and sometime during or before or after worship, place the ornament on the tree. That way, when you come to church on Christmas Eve and throughout this Advent, you can look up and see your ornament. So that is a new thing we're starting this year.
Sounds wonderful, too.
Yeah, so this is something you've been doing, right?
I have. It was a series of 3. So the last one is, but they're all standalone. So you're still welcome to come. And that's an Advent Bible study with Kara. at Lincoln Park Pres. And that's Wednesday, December 18th, in person at 3 p.m. and live online at 7 p.m. And you could attend both because Kara said last week that the online one has to be different than the in-person because we read through the long scriptures and everything at 3 o'clock. She said, no, we can't do that online. People will click off. So she has something much more exciting when online. So you could actually go to both of them and I'm sure get something out of it. So
Yes, I was wondering if it was the same thing and how that works. So thanks for asking that. And we're sure there's a lot of things going on around town. There's stuff like Trina O'Malley's is holding a fundraiser for our food pantry and the Giving Tree. There's stuff like Allen Park Martial Arts is also doing a fundraiser for our Giving Tree and food pantry. But we, as in Sue and I, are pretty busy this time of the year, so we don't have anything more to tell you other than
we're
have fun
busy.
and let us know what you've been doing around town.
Yeah. And if you're busy,
So
then you let us know.
let us know because I'm sure there's many good things happening. It's the time of the year for fun events. Um, if you want to let Steve in, we'll find out more about holiday things.
Yeah, because I'm sure he knows. He's in
Yes, he
the know
does.
about that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So today's guest is Steve Donahue. He's one of the balloon guys.
Yes, he is. Let him
Hello,
log in.
Steve. Can you? Oh, there you are.
There you are.
Bunch
Good
of
morning.
I brought the bells, Kerri.
Oh gosh, that's great.
You brought me in a minute earlier. I could have rung them for you for that giving.
Oh my gosh, we should have brought you in to do all the introductions. That would have been perfect. And a good question is, why do you have bells, Steve?
Well, you have to announce your presence when you're wearing that red suit. So
Yes.
it's funny. That's probably the only thing people asked me about last year was, don't you have bells? So yes, now I do.
Now you have bells, and it looks like your Santa beard and everything has come in nicely. And I know you make it whiter than it normally is
Yep.
to be in
Yeah,
character.
I get it bleached at Main Floor Salon.
It looks really white and good.
Yep. And
So
do my hair too, although the roots are starting to come out.
mine too.
I never thought I'd be a 60-year-old man with, oh, my roots are showing. But
Yeah, mine aren't showing there.
Yeah, mine are definitely showing. We got to keep my head up. So, anyways, we kind of just blew into talking about stuff. We didn't even introduce Steve just because I know him and he's a good friend and a friend to so many. Steve Donahue is one of the balloon guys. If you live in Allen Park, there's no way you haven't seen him if you've been to the Allen Park Farmers Market or any park. Balloon Twisters makes animals, and Steve last year became a Santa. You have to go to Santa school for that. So we're going to do some talking about these two. I want to say ministries because everything in my life is in ministries, but for these two, for the balloon guys and community Santa. So what have you been up to?
well, this week I did balloons for the Downriver Foster Closet. They had their Christmas Cares event on Wednesday. Sometimes I lose track of the days.
They all run together, huh?
A little bit. In fact, it was Wednesday because I also did. I appeared as Santa at the Henry Ford staff dinner or lunch.
Oh,
That was kind of fun. So then tomorrow I'm going to Kudos Field House. They're having a benefit breakfast for fish and loaves from 10 to noon. Kudos is down. It's like at Eureka and Pardee, almost.
I'm kind of glad you brought that up because a lot of people wondered what happened to Santa's Magical Forest. I think that's what it was called. It was always a fundraiser for Fish and Loaves. And so Kudos is now the home for that, correct?
Correct. Yep, that runs, I think, noon to 8. I'm not involved in that part of it. I'm just doing the Specs with Santa event from 10 to noon.
Right. They have really taken off. They have so many different things there. I know they have acts showing there. They have the Magical Forest. They have all kinds of different events, and I think they serve food. I've never been there.
Yep,
Yep.
they do have food.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We did a balloon twisting thing for them a couple months ago for charity, and they wouldn't let us not get paid, so they insisted on buying dinner. So
Yeah. Dinner, I
They
think
have
dinner.
food.
Yep.
Yeah, that's since you brought it up and I didn't have to. That is the one thing that you might be very surprised about. Steve does not accept money for balloon twisting or for being a Santa. You can get a free Santa or a free balloon twister at any of your events. And Steve, why do you think balloon twisting is such a hit?
Well, kids love the balloons and they feel it's weird. They feel creative. They'll say, "Oh, they act like they just made it sometimes." It's like, "Oh, I made this," and it's like, "Oh, okay, sure. I guess I'm just the robot.
Right. You're
They
just
gave me
the
the AI
vessel.
instruction and there you go." So yeah, and they're fun. Balloons are fun and you get to use your imagination, right? That's a dog, really? Yeah, that's a dog.
So did you go to school for that to learn how, or did somebody just teach you, or you have a mentor?
No, I'll tell you so kids ask me that question all the time, and I used to say, well, I'm so old I had to learn from books, but then uh, I went to a block party and they had wrestling, and one of the wrestlers told me, don't tell people you're old, tell them you're legendary. So now when people ask me, I just tell them, yeah, I'm legendary. I learned from books, but now the internet is your friend. So
Right.
there's probably, I don't know, there's a lot of videos on YouTube
Oh yeah.
how to make a balloon animal. If you just go there and type whatever animal you want balloon, you'll probably get 8 or 10 different tutorials. So you just have to kind of look around and figure out which one you can understand.
Yeah, Steve, I don't think I would be able to twist a balloon. I would just probably just be like, so I think it takes more skill than just looking it up because I know I couldn't do it.
Well, it's one of those things, right? I realized the other day that there's a way when you make a flower where you push the knot in and grab it, and I used to be afraid of that because it's a hard twist and your fingers in the balloon, and when you pull it out, it pops, and then uh, the other day I realized that I don't think about that anymore. I just do it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, I mean the flower does look better when you do that, but it's just kind of weird, like to realize, hey, maybe I'm getting pretty good at this. So we
Right.
did uh we
It's
did about
perfect, right?
170 balloon gigs last year or
Wow.
this year so far. I only have, oh, I think I'm done. I don't think I have any more balloons this year, just Santa. So
Okay. And are you pretty booked up with Santa for the next couple weeks too?
yeah, yeah, it's pretty busy. So like Saturday I have kudos, and then Sunday I'm going to the eighth side, which is it's a game store and restaurant of all things. It's the old Noodle House, if you know that. That one's at 4232 Fort Street, and we're doing pictures with Santa from 3 to 5, and you come in and
Oh,
get some. If you like Asian noodles, it's the place to go for Santa pics. So
there you go. That's on Saturday, right?
that's Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday, yep. So and then I have a few things next week. So yeah, we're pretty busy. Yeah.
Now you do have a partner, Steve, I believe is his name.
No, his name's Meg.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. And Balloon Guy. So there are two of you. How long have you two been in business per se?
Well, it started about I want to say 2.5 years ago. So I'm disabled and I'm sitting around in my basement trying to figure out what to do with myself. And one day I decided, I should just take some balloons to the park and see what happens. So I had done balloons before a few times for scout events or whatever, but mostly it was just family things. And so I said, well, let's go to the park. And so I went to Duda Park, the Barney Park, and started inflating balloons, and then it went pretty well. And so then I started doing more and more balloon things. So I think my first big balloon thing was I got invited to come to the farmers market and do balloons.
And that's like history because I think you're like an institute at the farmers market now. Kids know you're there and come to get their balloons.
Yes, I think there are people that just come there to see me.
I
So
do too. And
so when I
if
sorry,
only they knew you were Santa too, Steve, right?
well, I'm okay with not knowing.
Yes, there's got to
You
be
know,
magic.
so come Halloween, I stop wearing red shirts. I only wear other colors because otherwise I get too much of the hey, it's Santa.
Right?
I don't
That's
want to be on
funny.
stage all the time. So
You may have told me this before, but for some of our viewers who are watching, how did you get interested in being a Santa?
you know, I I was thinking about this morning. I don't remember exactly what it was that made me think, oh, let's try Santa. I love Hallmark movies and I love Christmas, so that's a good start. And then you know, there are a fair number of balloon twisters who are Santas in the season. So I think that may have been it. Somebody else I knew was doing
Have you
both.
always had a white beard, or did you just grow it in the last couple of years so you could be Santa?
It hasn't always been white, but I've had a beard for a long time, at least 20 years. I'm kind of growing it longer now because some people like a longer Santa look. And so I'm trying to get it to grow out a little bit, but I'm not as successful as I'd like to be yet.
Well, I mean, it looks nice and full. I mean, it's how many people dye their beard white? You know what I mean? So that's
You
you
know,
gotta
I usually dye it darker.
right.
well, it's funny. I go on my Santa school is online most of the time, and so we get on a Zoom call just like this, and you get that, the tic-tac-toe board of all the people on the call. It's kind of weird to look and like there's maybe 20 guys, the whole screen's full, and it's all full of guys who look a lot like me.
That's gotta be
Some have
that's gotta
bigger
be
beards, some have smaller beards, but it's a lot of people with white beards and long hair, and yeah,
that's awesome. Santa school. That's so
Santa
cool.
school. Yep, yeah. They got a Hallmark movie coming up for that tomorrow night. Santa school.
Great, there you
Maybe they
go.
call it Santa Class. Maybe I don't remember, but
Yeah. All right. Good. I know you post about Hallmark movies. I love that. Yes,
I'm
that's
a
awesome.
fan.
Yeah, you're involved with scouts too, aren't you?
Yep, yep. We got we got a big camp out coming up between Christmas and New Year. So thanks to the church, you guys let us come in there and plan it. That was nice of you.
Yeah, we're nice like that, Steve.
And I know I've never. It's funny, right? I'm not a member of the church, but I've never asked you guys for anything and not gotten a yes. So that's pretty good.
Well, you're a great person, and of course we're gonna do it for scouts, that's for sure. Norma Bentley said, "Thank you, Steve, for all you do to bring joy to others, especially to children." Amy Bowerman said, "Good morning, Steve." A couple other comments, a lot of good mornings of people watching. So any new plans for the new year? What do you do? But this has got to be a hard time. What do you do between January and when it's nice to start doing balloons again? What's your
Well, there are
hobby?
some people who do balloons indoors. I got in fact just yesterday I got booked for a sixth grade dance. In,
Aw,
so that was all right.
Oh,
It was amazing though, because a lot of times people are calling you like on Tuesday for something Friday. And this lady asked me if I could do something for January 31st. So
a little bit of
that's,
notice
that's,
there, eh?
that's a lot of
yeah,
notice, which is really cool.
that is
Sometimes you're like,
very cool.
I
Let
guess that'd be my one thing is, if you're thinking about having us, don't wait, because especially as it gets warmer and there's a lot of outdoor events, we get booked up pretty good. And so sometimes we can split. So I'll go to one place and Mick will go to the other. But if you have a big event, we can't do it. We have to both be there, or like the street fair where we blow up about I think it was about 1,100 balloons a day.
oh my goodness.
And it's similar. The other one that's big like that is probably made in Michigan. They generate a lot of traffic and a lot of balloons. So
100 balloons. Len Parada is watching and says hi, Steve. And Patty Johnson says Connor is looking forward to winter camp.
there you go.
There you go.
Connor's one of the guys in charge. I know you guys know Connor.
Yes, I know
Yeah.
Connor well and
So
love him.
Connor's in charge of all our activities this year at camp. So
Well, I mean, he's a great man to be doing it because he grew up at camp and he's been there a lot of times and he's
yep.
been through youth group at the church, and that is wonderful. Oh, I hope you guys have a lot of snow and great weather up there. No
Yeah,
ice.
I'm
though.
looking forward to it. I don't know if we have to have that much snow, but a little would be good.
Yeah, a little snow is good. One time I went there and they're like, all right, it was like 11 o'clock at night. They're like, let's go outside. I suit all up, walk out the door, and it was like up to my waist. And I was like, you know what? I think I'll go back in and work on the snack when you guys come back. That was a bit much for me. I was like, whoa. So
Yeah,
yeah.
at camp a lot of times I stick around the cabin and do help with the cooking.
Yeah, I try not to help with the cooking because I'm awful at it, but I'm a good sous chef and I'm good at dishes, but I know how to help always.
Oh, those kind of people are always needed.
Yes, they are. Yes, they
Important
are.
to know your skills, right?
Right. Do you go to art camp, or do you go to D-Bar A, or do you go to a different camp?
GBRA mostly. Also,
Yeah.
there's another one called Tatanka that's out near Jackson that we go to a lot.
Okay. Oh, that sounds really fun.
Have you ever
Yeah.
been to our Camp Wakanda?
No, I haven't.
We'll have to do that.
Right,
Yeah,
we're gonna talk.
let's figure out a day. We'll do some balloons one weekend or something when you have a families out there.
Absolutely.
My daughter does the grandparents camp. That would be awesome.
Yes, it would. We'll let you know when that happens, because that's a lot of kids and they would love that.
All right, I'll be happy to do it.
All right, cool. So, in case you just joined us, and what time is it? Wow, it's almost over. In case you just joined us, we're talking to Steve Donahue. He is from Balloon Guys. Him and his partner do balloons, and you never charge, right, for any event.
Well, I never charge. Sometimes if someone wants a private birthday party, Mick will charge them for it, but not very often.
Okay.
So we don't do very many private parties anyway. And so we mostly do community events, and that's where we're free is, if you're a church or a school or some kind of youth group, we like to go out and do those events for free, especially if it's a place where they, like schools can't always afford everything, right? And so we're not out to try and take business away from other balloon artists, but we're definitely ready to help people who can't afford a balloon artist and see what we can do.
Right. So if you don't charge for things, those balloons are not free. I'm sure they're not given to you free.
No.
How do you afford that? And also, like, what did you do to make a living? If everything's free, how do you make a living? I mean, Santa.
Well, two things happen. First, I have a very supportive wife, Christy, who takes in stride when I spend money on balloons and other things. She doesn't really complain. She sometimes encourages me. She definitely encourages me to go out and do ballooning and Santa. In fact, she paid for Santa school, so that was pretty nice of her.
Oh,
That was like my Christmas gift in 2022.
so cool.
But I used to be an IT guy, and now I'm disabled. But my company had a pretty good insurance policy on people getting hurt. And so I get a stipend from the insurance, and then I'm on Social Security. And so, I just pay for it out of that money when it comes in. Balloons aren't, they're not free, but if you had $100, you could be a balloon guy. You'd have about 40 colors if you wanted to.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So,
that's great.
it's not,
How many colors are there?
Well, all right, you've hit a sore spot now.
Uh-oh.
For balloon twisters, we have to use those long, skinny ones mostly, right? And so I would guess if you went across most companies probably have about 50 or 55 colors, 60 maybe. But if you were looking at round balloons, holy smokes. So I got a catalog a couple of years ago of balloons, and it was a 64-page catalog of all balloons, and there were 3 pages of twister balloons, and all the rest were everybody's wedding balloons, because weddings, everybody's got to have the right color.
Oh, yeah.
So the
Right.
round balloons
Gotta
come
match.
hundreds of colors. So it's a little sore spot for us that we can't get some of the really cool colors yet.
Yeah, that's true, but I guess the market would be somewhat limited on that, that long
Yeah.
style of
Oh
balloon.
yeah. I mean, I understand it. I just don't like it.
Yeah, so I agree, because I would want every color too.
Right. But I have a pretty good size. I always joke with kids that I have the 64 pack of balloon colors because my mom wasn't with me when I bought them.
The
So
Crayola.
she couldn't tell me that
balloons, right?
16 was enough,
Right. That's so cute.
When you're a kid, mom always wants to get the 8-pack and you want to get the 128 pack, right?
Exactly. It's like it's like crayons. I always wanted that big 64 pack.
Yeah.
Steve,
But
what do you do when a child can't decide what kind of animal? Do you just give them a choice? I mean, to keep things moving, or does that happen often?
Yeah, so here's how often it happens. Are you ready? Dog,
Yes.
cat, monkey, bear, sword, flower, unicorn, butterfly, dinosaur, elephant, giraffe, snake, or something.
What was the first one again?
Dog. So, and we always start with dog because, it's about the easiest thing to make.
Right.
And a lot of kids like it. So that's good. What tends to happen is I sort of in my head, I have like a repeat factor. So if you make a dog, then if there's 10 kids in line, probably 2 or 3 of them will settle for a dog. And so what you have to be careful of is like I can make a penguin, which takes a little longer. And so, but it has a huge repeat. So if you make one penguin and there's 10 kids in line, you're probably going to make 7 or 8 more. And because it takes a little longer, that's maybe not the best choice, right?
Yeah, I can understand that.
At the foster closet last year, I had learned to make a snowman, and so I made a few snowmen. And the next thing I knew, I was making a lot of snowmen, and they also take a minute. And then so this year I didn't talk about snowmen at all.
That's funny.
But then towards the end, a little girl came up and she said, "I want a snowman." And I said, "What makes you think I can make a snowman?" "I know you can make a snowman." I'm like, "You were here last year, weren't you?" "Uh-huh."
Oh, that's so cute.
It was fun, but then I probably had to make about 10 snowmen in the last half hour after she asked me. But
Wow, that's so
So-
funny.
So when you make a dog, do they say, I want a poodle, I want a Saint Bernard, I want
yes.
a okay.
Yeah, you do get a lot of like, I want this dog, that dog, pretty much in balloons, it's like it's a dog or it's a poodle or it's a dachshund, right? And then all you do is make the body really long and the legs really short, and then that's a dachshund.
It
So,
is blue, green, purple, orange, whatever.
yeah, well, there's a few different browns. So you can get dark brown, light brown, shiny brown, tan. There's a few
Okay.
different brown shades. I mean, most balloons, there's 4 or 5 different shades of a color.
Oh, that's cool. I have
Yeah.
to come over to the farmer's market and get a balloon when the weather's nice. You don't ever do balloons when you're dressed as Santa though, right?
No, I mean there are guys that do that, but I don't think I could. I mean, first
Yeah.
off, you have to wear, if you're Santa, you should wear gloves. That's part of the look. And I don't think I'd be able to twist balloons in gloves.
Yeah.
Although
That would be
I
kind
will
of
confess I've thought about trying it.
Right. But I mean, that would be a lot to get their Christmas wishes and then,
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
usually you're pretty busy. I at the holiday market was like 4 hours, and we were doing selfies with Santa, and so we probably did about 125 pictures.
wow.
Some with adults, some with kids, just like you'd expect.
Right. Oh, that's nice.
And does
Yeah.
Christy go with you as Mrs. Claus or no?
No.
You haven't talked her into that yet?
Christy teaches, I think maybe once she retires.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Christy's a first grade teacher, and so she's had a lot of kids by the time she gets home from work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
teaching
daughter's
is-
a teacher, I know.
Yeah,
Okay.
No.
teaching is
Gotcha.
very exhausting.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. She's pretty tired out, and she just as soon just sit somewhere quietly
Yeah.
for a while because she's heard Mrs. Donahue probably 50 times or 100. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I saw a video where they counted how many questions they were asked, and I think that was like in 3 hours she had 200 questions.
Yeah.
It was a teacher.
We know a lot of teachers and they all say exactly the same thing you're saying. When you come home, you just don't want to be asked any question or, I mean, it takes a lot of patience to be a teacher.
Yep. Well, I make dinner, and I've learned not to ask her. I just make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter comes home and she says, I have made 1,000,000 decisions today. I don't want to make one more. So
Yeah.
Oh,
just feed me, please.
we should
Yes.
introduce your daughter to my wife, because I think they could hang out.
Yeah. We got a lot of comments. Amy Bowerman, Christy's the best. Steve's wife, Christy, is so awesome. Love her. So I know you two are like a really cool power couple in our area and just
How long have
spreading
you
a lot
been
of,
married?
Boy, don't put me on the spot like that. 23
Oh.
years.
Sorry.
23. Christy, I hope you're not watching. She's not because she's at school right now. So she's not
Right.
watching.
I just always have to do the math. I know it was 2001.
Yeah.
I have a good memory for those kinds of dates. So I
Good.
have to think about, all right, what day is it today? So,
Yeah. Amy said she used to work with Christy. That's so cool.
yep, I know Amy.
Yep. I think you know everyone, Steve. You are very,
Yeah.
people don't know this, but you seem like a fun, loving, balloon twisting Santa kind of guy, but you're also very involved in the city of Allen Park, and a lot of people probably don't realize that, but you're a real hero that gets involved, and that's how I got to know you too. So
Yeah.
people
Well,
probably don't realize that.
I went to the DDA meeting last night. That was fun.
Yeah,
And
I
Len logged in. Len and I are on the historical commission together. He's the chairman. I'm the new kid. So
good. Yep, he was watching. He probably still is. So that is very cool. So I know you're very dedicated to the city of Allen Park, and we appreciate that very much.
well, thank you.
Well, you know something? We are past, it's 9:31, and we feel like we could keep talking and talking. But we probably should let everyone get to their day. And I know that you provided us with a scripture that was one of your favorites. And I'm gonna let Sue read that with her
Wait,
professional.
can I get in? Can I get in one plug, sort of?
Absolutely.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, it's just a simple one. It's to book us. It's balloonguys.org, and we have a website, and it's okay. And then
Yes.
we're also at, if you want a Santa, we're at communitysanta.org.
Okay, that was the one I couldn't find that. I didn't realize it was that simple. I will go ahead when we finish this podcast and put those links in the chat so that if anybody's watching wants more information, you can go ahead and look at the website and contact Steve through those websites.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
So Steve's scripture is Acts chapter 20, verse 35, which says, "In all things I have shown you that by working hard in this way, we must help the weak and remember the words of the Lord Jesus, how he himself said, 'It is more blessed to give than to receive.'"
Love it. Love it.
If you would like to understand more about the good news of Jesus Christ, be sure to join Pastor Tim for devotions. He's live at 9:30 a.m. Monday through Thursday on Facebook. And join us Sundays at 10 a.m. for worship. It is live streamed on Facebook and YouTube, or you can come in person in our beautiful sanctuary in Allen Park, Michigan. If you'd like to be a guest with us on a Friday of your choice, just let us know. We're scheduling guests through February. And we hope you'll join us next Friday for the Good News Live at 9, when our guest will be a familiar face. Gail Lee is one of the authors of a new book, InHER Power InHER Wisdom, and she's going to be with us. And remember, you are a beloved child of God, and God loves you, and so do we.
Thank you, Steve. We appreciate you so much for being with us. I will talk to you soon, of course, and keep us informed on everything that's going on. And everyone who's watching, stay warm and have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Steve.
Bye.